For more than a decade, Montana has been at the center of debates about money and politics. Now, an organization is launching a campaign to introduce a ballot measure aimed at finding a way around the Citizens United decision that allowed corporations to spend unlimited money during elections. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian has a closer look at what they're proposing and the challenges that their plan could face.
Back in 2012, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down a century-old Montana law that prohibited corporations from spending directly in elections. Since then, opponents of that ruling have raised concerns about the impact of big money. Now, one group is proposing a novel legal approach that they argue could successfully circumvent that ruling.
I want to move back to a time where elections were elections, campaigns were campaigns. You knew what was being said, you knew who was running. You had the ability to ask them questions.
Jeff Mangan, the former Montana Commissioner of Political Practices, announced the Montana Plan. He argues states have authority they're not using to limit what powers they grant corporations. And he's starting a campaign for a ballot measure in 2026 that would seek to redefine Montana corporations' powers so they don't include political spending. Mangan was joined on a video conference announcing the campaign by former U.S. Senator Jon Tester and former Montana Governor Mark Roscoe.
I don't think I have run into one of my fellow citizens in the state of Montana and got engaged in a conversation about politics where the notion about spending money in politics has not been a matter of grave concern and great disdain.
The U.S. Supreme Court's Citizens United decision said political speech is protected under the First Amendment, even when it comes from a corporation. Their ruling on Montana's law said the state hadn't shown any reason to deviate from that precedent. Since then, Montana's experienced a series of campaigns with massive spending and huge ad volume. Last year's Senate election saw more than $250 million in spending.
And so you might say, well, geez, John, you're mad because you got outspent? No, I'm told that my side actually put more money out there than their side. The fact is that this is not good for democracy.
Mangan said the language for this proposal is still being written, and it's certain to face legal challenges. But he argues grounding the proposal in a state's authority over corporations' powers creates a question the Supreme Court hasn't answered yet. In 2012, Montana voters approved a ballot measure saying corporations shouldn't have constitutional rights, but it didn't have any practical impact. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.